Hello, and welcome to the Grumpy Gobbler channel. My name is Noah, and in today's video, I'm going to install a Roam 95-liter cargo box thing on the roof of my 4Runner. I already have one installed on the other side. Now I'm going to install one on this side. I'm going to move my MaxTrax over to the front of the vehicle and have another cargo box here for camping supplies. The other box is full of recovery gear, and this one, like I just said 2 seconds ago, is going to be camping gear. Thanks for coming along. All right, the first step is going to be to open the box, or take the cargo box out of the shipping box. This is how it came to me. There's some damage in here, but I don't think that nothing is damaged inside, or I'll hope. I'm going to be a little careful with the box because I'm actually going to use a part of the box to make a template for the holes that need to be drilled into the bottom of it. And I'll try to do this somewhat carefully. And there's the box. Now, it looks like I may not be able to use that as a template, but I have something else I may be able to use. I've heard of these things being shipped without the struts attached. Let's see if that's the case with this one. They're attached. Box looks good. So, I think we're good to go. Let's get to installing. First thing I'm going to have to do is actually remove the MaxTrax. So I'll do that now. Wow. I have to get another one of these. Things toast. This is how my roof is currently set up. MaxTrax here, obviously a cargo box there. And as I indicated, I think in the intro, that box is full of recovery gear and miscellaneous items. I'm going to take the MaxTrax, move them to the front across here, and mount the new Roam box up here. That's the plan, leastways. And so let me get the MaxTrax off. All right, what I need to do now is make some spacers. So this is going to go on above the roof rack, actually inside the box, and I'm going to make some spacers out of this plastic right here that will go, this will go underneath the tube in the roof rack, and the spacer that I make here will go on top of it. Actually, the spacer will go, then this will go, and then I'll screw those down, and then the box will go on top of that. I think that's how I'm going to do it. We'll find out. Okay, so these are mounted where I need them to be, I hope. And I've bolted them down, but I'm going to take these off when I mount the other case. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a spacer underneath here to hold them in place. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm not totally sure. I do have some other bolts. I could bolt this and then put the case on top, but I'd rather have a flat space for the case to ride on. So it'll be a little bit different than that. I can always take that one off and redo it. Anyways, so this is how I did that. And now I'm going to go ahead and install these, and I'll show you what I do. That makes life a lot easier. The reason I use these U-bolts is trying to reach under here is a royal pain in the butt. Like putting those eye hooks in was easy because I can access from the side, but if it was in the middle here, it would be tough. So let me go ahead and set the camera down. I'm going to I'm going to measure the one back over here, and that is about 16.5 from here. These things are just in the wrong spot. This one's going to be a little funky. I think I'll go right here. I'm going to struggle on this one the same way I struggled on the other one because I can't get this to turn properly. Oh, yep. So just like that, I went under the crossbar and then brought it up. It was a lot easier, of course, than the one I didn't film. And what I'm using, in case I didn't say it before, I think I did, but just in case I didn't, is stainless. So this is all stainless hardware. And you'll see why I'm tightening this in a minute. Okay. Now here's how I'm going to do the holes. Excuse me. Here's how I'm going to do the holes inside the case. I have this piece of plywood and I have it sitting on top of the U-bolts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it down so I can mark where the holes are. I have this positioned kind of straight so I can put it inside the thing straight, and that's how I'm going to mark the holes. That way the holes are pretty much right where I want them, and I don't have to worry about making the holes big so I can position the case around. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to set this camera down and film this, but I don't know that that's going to happen. But that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to hammer down, mark the spots. So actually, let me turn the camera off and do that. All right, hopefully you can see the marks that I've done by using the hammer. And this one I don't think I have a mark there, so I'm just going to drill this hole over here. Sorry, I'm standing in the sun. I'm going to drill this hole, and then I'll set it on top. Give it one more tap. The front is... Maybe I should sharpen my pencil. And do it again. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to trim this down so I can get it inside this hole. Alright, my template is made. I had to cut this notch out and separate these pieces to get this in here properly. And now I just need to position this where I want it and somehow mark the holes. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I will figure it out. Then I'll drill the holes and we'll be ready to get it mounted. I'm being extra kind of picky and anal about this. Certainly you don't have to be this picky about it, but I only want to do this once. And so we'll see if all my pickiness is worthwhile and it's in the right position and I'm happy. Because otherwise I get to do it again. Okay, holes are drilled. Hopefully in the right spot using my template over here. Seems like a waste of wood, but that certainly makes life a little easier. Now I'm going to go see if this thing will fit over the holes. If it does, then I'll get ready to mount it. All right. Now I have pieces of wood underneath the U-bolts to hold them up because I'm going to take off these nuts. And I need to hold these into position so they're wedged under there good enough, and so they won't move when I take off the bolts. I'm going to get my silicone ready and then go ahead and take off the nuts, silicone the top of this, and then hopefully install this. Okay, I have the bolts removed and I have the silicone on there. And now for the moment of truth. Okay, it's mounted. I have it all siliconed. And now I'm gonna just let this sit here and dry for quite a while before I put stuff in it. There you go. All right, cargo box is installed. This is a little crooked. I think this one looks pretty straight, the one I just installed today. This one must be a little bit crooked because you can see the gap here is narrower than the gap here. Those fit perfectly right there, the MaxTrax. I had to move the awning bracket back because the MaxTrax were hitting that awning bracket right there, so I had to move that back. It's still in a good position, so that is good. Got my shovel and everything back on as I break my fingers. And it latches just fine with the shovel there. Somebody had made a comment, does my shovel hit my 4Runner? And that's the gap. And this thing will not move as I'm driving. So that's just fine. That's not going to ever hit anything. And if it does, I would hear it. As I indicated earlier, I had to move my high lift back to here, which is just fine. And now my roof has a lot of crap on it. Looks okay. Let me go up my stairs so I can kind of show you from the top. So there it is from the top. Let's see which one. You know, what's kind of funny is that looks relatively straight compared to the end of the rack. This one's a little crooked, but not by that much. So I don't know if this rack is weird or if my eyeballs are weird or what, but it's the way it is. In case you were wondering, this is my view. Still quite a bit of smoke and haze in the air. Normally you can see Pikes Peak right out there, and hopefully I see it again someday. The other day it was actually a little bit clearer and I could see it, but during the winter it's quite nice. Anyway, that's it. Project done. Now to go edit video. That'll take a while. We'll see when I do that. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We'll see if that happens. Let's think. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below and I answer every single question. Unless you're being a smartass, then I ignore it. Like I said, thanks for watching. See you on the trail.